All right, we're very pleased to have Joan one more time in her repeat engagement for us, wearing a different hat now as a director of the NASO.
Nice. How's that? Okay, good. All right, here we go. So, National Association for Sports Officials. In 1980, it was the leading source of officiating information. There was nothing out there. If you know the president of NASO and also the chief editor of Referee Magazine, Barry Mano, actually was a basketball official. His brother also officiated basketball and went on to the NBA, and there was no advocacy for officials, and so he started this company. And there really isn't any other advocacy for officials than NASO, except what we have, locally within our own bailiwick of sports. There's a plethora of information, as you can imagine, because of the number of sports that are involved, and programs and resources. It's the only one in the nation. Any sport, any level is what they tout. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information. What is NASO? There are 5 core benefits: advocacy, protection, education, assistance, and discounts. How many of you are members of NASO? Oh, then why am I talking to you? Okay. Not that I'm here to help the rest of you drink the Kool-Aid, because it's, once I'm done with this, you'll go, wow, this is something I may want to consider. Single membership, $103. That's a lot annually. $188 if you want to go 2 years. Those of you that raised your hands most likely are involved in a group. Is that right? Okay, so that's pretty much, and I don't know what your group rate is, but by sport, it's different. So let's talk a little bit about advocacy for a minute. I'm clicking this, aren't I? Yeah. All right. In the corner for officials, whenever it affects them in court or in the law. NASO is the only advocacy as far as legalese. In 21 states, there are actually assault legislation, 16 limited liability, 12 states have independent contractor legislation. And so here's a real life sample. This happens to be a Texas football official, and maybe you read about this, or maybe you were certainly were close to it. This is a situation where an official in football was running down a sideline, and as you know, there is a coach's box, and the coach was outside that restricted area while the official was running down, and they collided. Coach was badly injured, and he had to retire. Of course, he sued everybody, but the crew was sued for $10 million for not warning the coach. And NASO stepped in. They appealed to the state Supreme Court, and NASO did a 17-page document, a brief, in support of the officials. And the main focus was that football officials focus on the players, not necessarily the coaches. And so the good news is the case was found in favor of the officials. It was just huge. Sad situation for the coach, absolutely. But had these officials not been NASO members, who knows what it would have cost them, or had NASO in their backyard to help them. Okay, so let's move on to protection. Never officiate any game or be involved in any race at any level without some form of liability protection. And they give 2 examples. One Tennessee high school situation. This was actually a player that was sitting outside a dugout in baseball. And it was pretty crowded in the dugout, and so he chose to sit on a bucket. And of course, as fate will happen, he got hit in the head with a foul ball. Naturally, the parents not only sued the school, the state, but the officials. Hundreds of thousands of dollars could have been lost here, and I don't know the technicality, but for some reason, the officials were off the hook on a technicality. I'm not privy to that information, but that could have been an unbelievable lawsuit for this crew, not to mention the school and the state. The second one was about an umpire that tosses a bat out of play, and what happened in this situation, a young man hit the ball, and then unintentionally the bat is thrown in the third base home baseline, and so there was going to be a potential play. So the umpire went down and threw the bat, and what had happened then was that it hit a kid and knocked his teeth out. So the parents said it was an accident at the time because it was unintentional, and they didn't find fault with anybody, and there were no charges. But 6 years later, the player turned 18 and decides to sue the umpire because there was pain and suffering, and also damages because there was reconstruction to his mouth. The sad part about it is the umpire was not a member at the time and would have been covered not only at the time of the incident, but even 6 years later after this young man decided to sue. So I don't know what the cost was there, but the umpire was sued and lost. Protection. NASO offers the most complete and robust protection for sports officials working any game at any level. There's liability insurance, $3 million per occurrence, and it's general liability. And I will tell you that bodily injury, property damage, personal injury, not just to you at a contest, but while you're assigning, attending a seminar, slipping on the ice, this is going live, isn't it? Okay, clinics, meetings, and so forth. So you're protected to and from a contest. Assault protection program, legal expenses for, you'll get legal expenses like $3,000 worth of legal expenses if there's any kind of assault that is, the picture we saw? If there's anything that's a retaliation to you. I don't know why this is clicking. Are you clicking this time? This is killing me. This is just like going. Okay. See, it's not my PowerPoint. I could have dressed this thing up. We could have had fun. All right. So, all right. Not only $3,000 for legal fees, but also $100 per contest. So if volleyball officials, something happens to me, I'm assaulted, and I am out officiating volleyball, I would get $100 per game that I lost. Unintentional errors and omissions, there's a $50,000 policy per occurrence for unintentional errors or omission coverage. Cardiac death benefit, $5,000 benefit. Optional game fee replacement program, which is something that's an addition, and I think you have to pay for that. So just like homeowners insurance or the medical insurance that you have or auto insurance, you know what? We hate to use it. We hate to tap into that, but it sure is nice when it's there, because if it's not good news. Education. Referee Magazine, and I know exactly what you're going to say, because for years, I received Referee Magazine, and I never saw the word volleyball in there. But there are some great articles, and of course, the cover. I'm looking at January and February, and who is it but almighty basketball? But it's basketball season, so primarily Referee covers the big four, and it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, and soccer. But I will tell you, volleyball is getting their day in the sun in August. They're launching volleyball for the first time ever. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anybody just get Referee Magazine? Because you can do that. Not a member, but just get the magazine? Okay. And then also there's an official newsletter, 16-page insert within that referee magazine that includes more case plays and articles and so forth. And then the question was asked about the summit, largest gathering of officials in the nation, and so I will speak to that. The first time I went to an NASO summit was here in Colorado Springs. And again, it was kind of one of those Sean Farrell deals where I was local and cheap. What? I'm not touching that. I am not. You're killing me. It's a good thing you did. What is this? This is it just on automatic? Oh, stop. Okay. Well, I'll just go to the end. I'll fix you. So, anyway, back to the summit. So I was in Colorado Springs. I was cheap, and I was on a panel and on evaluation. And wow, there was a guy from Australia. I can't remember his sport. And there was a bunch of us. And I thought, what is this group? And the funny thing is, my little gal in the back that just talked about women, and I counted, there are 24 in here out of your 90. And so I was pretty excited to be there, but there were 3 women. It's the first conference I have ever been to where there was a line outside the men's bathroom, but not the women's. I was stoked. But that is changing now. So we're getting more women involved in NASO at the summit level. And it's, I don't know how to conceptualize this for you and not make you think, well, yeah, but what would that do for me? The NFL is very involved, and of course, you know, after their strike, that was very interesting to see what was going on last summer because they still were in negotiations. NBA, the Major League Baseball, National Hockey, we can just glean from these people, even though we don't have their budgets, and you listen to National Football League and what they do after a contest, and the money, the war room. They showed us this presentation of the war room and what happens after an NFL game and talk about debrief. Oh my, everything is split. All the film is right there for it. They go through every play again. I mean, it's just amazing what those people do. But the professionalism, the philosophy, the management, the leadership, all those kinds of things. If you could ever go, it's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't know if that helps you, but I think they've got the next 2 years plotted out. But it is, it's just a must to. You just have to go. That's all I can say. Member discounts on attendance. So once you're a member, then they kind of give you a little discount for coming to the summit. Assistance, member information, MICP, member information and consultation program. So this is free legal advice. You get to do this 3 times out of the year. Those of you that are members, I don't know if you knew that. Have any of you ever used it? Yeah? I would have guessed it. But, no, yeah. Actually, PAVO, which is the Professional Association of Volleyball Officials. Look up here. Had to use it, and I'm just going to tell you this case. So there was a volleyball referee that decided in volleyball we have 3 out of 5 sets, right? So between sets 2 and 3, there's a 10-minute intermission, if you will, like halftime. There we go. So this official decided, and his partner, decided to invite themselves to the hospitality area. Yeah, so they're up, are you kidding me? So they're up there and they're getting a plate full of, okay. So the second referee comes down because at 3-minute mark, right before the 3rd set, you have to be out on the court because they're warming up and, you know, coaches and players and so forth are out there. And so the second referee, thank goodness he shows up. First referee, no, not so much. He's still eating. Not only that, this guy, you can't make this stuff up. This guy comes out with a plate of wings. Oh no, gets better. You ready? Okay, the warm-up is done, the whistle blows, the horn sounds. He gets up on the stand with the plate of wings. Oh yeah, and puts it, and bring it, and he starts reffing. And then there was a timeout. These guys, he gets his wings. He's in a white shirt. Okay. anyway, he starts eating these wings. It's all on film. So it gets sent to the conference. It gets sent to the assigner and the conference, and it's like, this guy's a nutcase. Are you kidding me? I mean, why would you have to tell him you don't do this? You don't even have to tell a 3-year-old, right? But, oh no, it gets better. So, PAVO gets a hold, local association gets a hold of it, PAVO gets a hold of it, and of course you have to do due process, Todd. All right, so you bring them in, here's what, they're going to nix them. So you bring them in, you want to hear the story. You ready? You ready? At the beginning of the match, this is his testimony. At the beginning of the match, I bent over to pick up an errant ball during warm-up, and my back went out. So I took something like a Percocet or something. I don't know what he took. Oh, good, good. Not only are you eating wings up on the stand, but you're on drugs. Okay, that's great. So that was his. Now, of course, they had the film of all the warm-up. Wasn't on there. The guy's gone. Banned. Life. Done. But the good news is we first started PAVO by calling, as being members, calling for this free consultation, and the attorneys helped us. And then all of a sudden, it went, but it didn't go any further. But really, now I'll give you one more case. Male-female partners, officiating partners, finished with the tournament. They had a little tete-a-tete in the beginning. I don't know, something happened in a tournament before, so they're not getting along. And she's driving him home. And she had broken a rib, done something, I don't know. She gets in the car, they have an argument, he gets his stuff, and then slams the door on her. Yeah. She gets out and cold cocks him. Sweet. I didn't see a problem, but obviously he did. Good girl. So, yeah, so now you got assault on a fellow official. Are you kidding? Like I said, you can't make this stuff up. So again, we get our free call because you get 3 a year. That was a stellar year. All right. So now I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. Assistance. Let's start with that. So relocation assistance, which is great because it puts you in touch with local associations in your area. So you move, and they'll kind of hook you up with if you haven't already networked. And I think that's great assistance. Discounts, Marriott, VIP programs, save up to 50% on reservations at Marriott, properties across the country depending on availability, and also rental car, Avis, and Hertz. Doesn't have to be that you're officiating, can be any time during the year, but you have to contact them. Purchase discounts, 10% savings on Honig's Whistle Stop. Where's my baseball guy? I was just talking to you. Yeah. I mean, this would help you, but not so much in cycling, right? Yeah. So it would help me maybe with the whistle, but that's about it. And then 20% savings on any referee NASO published book. You spoke, sir, about the sportsmanship book that you received. The publications are fabulous. And it just went off, didn't it? Yeah, great. Okay. So, yeah, what's that one? Is that the legal one? Yeah. Good, Todd. Very good. All right, nice with the props. So that's the presentation. Holy smokers. I'm going to get on NASO. You know what? I'm going to revamp that PowerPoint. So you're going to have questions for me. I told you $103, right? $188 if it's a 2-year thing. But there are group things, and that's something that you need to take up with your group. But NASO will work with you.
What's the current group rate, Joe?
You would ask me that. So it's like $79, $80 somewhere in there.
79 last year.
Yeah. Okay.
How do we get a code?
Get a code.
It says right in there when you go to sign up, group rate code or something like that.
I just went through the purchase and
Wait, hold that thought.
So real quick, guys, every year we do a group registration. We will open up the USA Cycling Officials NASO registration in May. You do get an email from us. It's on the tech guide, and then I do an individual email to all y'all to take care of that.
Oh, y'all.
I use the... Thank you. I went to UK. I know how to say it. That is for renewals as well. So you sign up there, and then Sean and I will send you off to NASO on our list, and you guys will be all set.
Okay.
That is in May.
Now, can you take her?
Between now and then, you're on your own. Actually, Randy was next.
Oh,
Real quick question. I do a lot of international travel. Would this cover international travel
oh,
as
that's
well
a
going to the
great
vet?
question. This is what I did. Is that that's not Andrew? Is that Dan? Oh, Randy. God, Randy, here you go. Serious. Come hither. All right. Well, I've got cards right here. You need to contact me, okay? Or best thing is NASO. I don't know about international, but you know what? You know all the international people in here, right? So you're going to take care of them. Sweet. All about delegating, right, Steve? All right. That's right. Dot.
There are probably others in the same situation. We've been members of NASO probably since like early mid-90s, but our membership expires in early April, which is before the renewal on USAC by a month, and we don't want to have that 1 month lapse. So how is that handled?
If you have a current membership when you renew with our group, you will ultimately be refunded the portion of your current membership that you no longer need because you just joined our group. How those numbers are going to translate, I don't know. But say you renew in April, and then our renewal is actually in June. We'll start the process in May. So essentially what would happen is you would sign up, with us, but then NASO would turn right around and refund you the unused portion of, that's the way they told me it was supposed to happen.
Wow. It's not happening?
Well, I have half the people up here going, yeah, that's the way it worked, so.
I got a check from
Yeah.
You did?
refund from my
Really? Okay.
membership.
So just contact me if you've had trouble with that, and we'll get it sorted out.
National refund. Okay, I remember those two things. Okay.
Others? Going once? Click. Cravey. of course.
Sean, that's you.
All right.
So just a bit of information for those of us who are scooter trash, and USA Cycling doesn't provide stripes for us. They just, we're swept under the rug.
Wah.
But yeah, so the Honig's discount's good for us because we can buy the stripes, and then we can find somebody to put the emblem on for us.
Oh, I don't know about the emblem. I can't talk.
Oh no, they give us the artwork. They don't mind since they're not providing the clothing for us.
Wow, well, we have to buy our shirts. You're just.
Oh, we buy them. They just don't. We don't have a source to get them through USA Cycling.
So now you have a little discount at Honig, is what you're saying.
Shazam.
Sweet. Okay. So your problem. Scooter.
Anyone else? Okay. That was, again, wonderful presentation. Thank you very much.
Oh,
for
yeah. Okay. That was painless. Hey, Tom.